Hey guys, this is Chesney Hawks here. You are watching My Hammers 11 with the one and only Russ.
Hi everybody, Russ and My Hammers 11. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon to be notified any time I put new content on. As always, I'd like to thank our channel sponsors on Tucket. Check them out in the description. Oh, I almost did it. In one mouthful. One mouthful? No, one breath. Almost. Anyway, nearly. Anyway, I hope everyone is safe and well. We've got, YouTube sensation, I think Mike's probably, the real star of West Ham Unofficial. Sorry, Jake, but I think,
Jake's the star. Jake is the star, mate, and he has done so well, and I am so proud of him. I'm a mate of his dad's, as you know, and we go out at West Ham together, and known Jake since he was this high, and I'm just so proud of the great work he's doing, and I'm just really happy to be on there to help him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We'll call you a co-star then. Sort of supporting actor, when you get the Oscars and you get and you get the best supporting artist.
Best supporting artist. I'll take that. Mate.
I'm nominated for best animated short. That's my role. Anyway, so Mike's regularly on Jake's West Ham Unofficial channel. Usually on a it's a Wednesday now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Thursday.
I'm on Thursday this week. Yeah.
Thursday. Booked in, but
I don't know what day it is at the moment.
I don't know. I still don't. Last week buggered me up because I said I didn't know what day Wednesday is because that's the day I put the bins out, and it was bank holiday last week, wasn't it? So
that threw it.
Oh, threw me. But Mike's just had an operation on his knee. It's his knee, isn't it? You've had done.
Yeah, it's the only new part of me, mate. this is the only bit that's a week old. The rest is 60 years old. So yeah.
Well, it's all at least it's got done though, mate, and it needs to be done.
Yeah, it was getting bad. So yeah, my fault, as the missus tells me. You kicked that bag of wind around for too many years, and now you're paying for it. But
yeah,
I wouldn't change it for nothing, mate.
No, of course you wouldn't. And apart from the op, how have you been in general in this weird world we live in?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Yeah, and it's great to come back. Get back and see the family. Well, you've had Tom, and and I've got 4 kids and 4 grandchildren. My daughter is getting married this year. She lives in Hackney Wick, which is great because it's my stopover for the West Ham games.
So you're not one who does it up and down. You just stop over at your daughter's when you
most
go to
of the time, mate. Yeah. Sometimes we got to get home, so we have to jump back on the train, get on the Waterloo a bit quick, and get home. But my daughter lives in Hackney Wick. My son, which is also my oldest son, Nick, he's also a season ticket holder. He sits with me. He lives in Bow, so we meet up. It's great because I can get up there and see some of the family, and the rest live down here. Tom and Dan live down here. So
it's nice. It's nice, man.
Yeah, we're all West Ham fans. They've got to be. It was either that or I could live somewhere else. When I was growing up.
I think Tom said that, didn't he? I think Tom actually said that when we interviewed him. Yeah, I think so. Bless him. But no, it's lovely, isn't it? And we haven't done too bad this season. I know, we're recording this on the day that Man United put out their 12th team against Leicester, but apart from that, we haven't done too bad, have we? All in all.
Well, obviously I've been following for many years, and it's a different sort of excitement. It's a nervous excitement now, and it's a whole lot better than sitting behind a settee chewing your nails, or I mean. It's been a great season, whatever happens now, mate. And I mean it. I've said it all along. Wherever we finish, I hope it's at least a Europa position. I really do, because the boys deserve it.
Yeah.
And not only the boys. I mean, Moyes and his team have done phenomenally well. And he's got a great backroom staff there.
Yeah, he does.
And, and I believe in him. And I really, a few games, I expect you've heard some of my comments before the game or whatever. I've gone all like we all have. What's he putting his side out for? But mate, in the end, we've got to believe in him, because 99% of the time he's got it right, and but then again, the Everton game, mate. I mean, over the years, I've seen a struggle against Everton. Everton have been the sort of team I'd like us to be, really, up there, around there, pushing for Europa League place year after year.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a credit to us, really, and to Moyes and his team and his squad, that they've had to defend against us.
Yeah.
You know, he's gone out there with a defensive attitude to just stop us. You know, you know, I mean, that's a good thing in a way. You know, I know we didn't get the result we all wanted, but hey, we've got to move on to the next one now.
That's a great point in terms of that. You know, it's always the way that we're the ones who are defending against the bigger team, aren't we?
Yeah.
And actually, that's a really interesting point. Actually, Everton came out with a game plan to grab a one and defend against. You know, it's funny when you think about that. Being like but the whole thing's strange. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to having, you know. Well, until obviously about an hour ago, you know, realistically, us sort of like competing with Leicester and Liverpool for a Champions League spot, it just seems wrong. It just seems really weird, and you know, it does. And it's like when you're trying to sort of like calculate, you're talking about the teams that you were calculating against, and it's not against. I'm not worried about Burnley, and you know, the fact that you know Fulham went down the other day, and you know. We didn't bat two eyelids really because it's like, well, what are poor Fulham?
Fulham's gone down, poor old Fulham,
well, rather than
and all that, but you know, I mean, it's great, you know, since '85, you know, is the last time, you know, I was lucky to be alive then, and you know, that was a nail biter, you know, and we had a real good chance that year. I mean, we've had a couple of other pokes at it, haven't we, over the years? But I mean, realistically, this is the best chance we've had of getting in the top three since then, you know, and that's a long time. But we're West Ham fans, mate. We're not here for the glory. We're here for the love of the club, and that's it.
No, you're right, man. You're right. We never would have. I mean, exactly. We'd sign up to the wrong bloody club if that was the case. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yes, man. Yeah. Definitely.
It's so true. It's so true. Glory is not. I mean, you know, when your battle cry is about bubbles fading and dying, it hasn't sort of set you in a good stead for progression in terms of, you know, an aggressive counter. No, we think we're going to die already.
When we actually win, it means much more to us.
It is true.
You know, a lot of my mates who've been Arsenal or Chelsea or Man United fans or whatever. I mean, what does it mean to them? You know what I mean? When they're winning all the time, you know, it's weird, but I mean, we've almost felt like they have this year, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And
it's true.
I mean, the win means so much more to us. We embrace it and we enjoy it and we celebrate it more because it doesn't happen all the time, you know.
No, it's true, man. It's true. Somebody asked me whether whether I ever had aspirations for West Ham to win the Premier League, and I think actually, if we did do anything like that and we were like mega successful, you know, people criticise, you know, we're not the team, we're the fan, but the club's not the club it was. And if we started winning stuff, that would be the nail in the coffin. It's although that's the end goal of any footballer, any football club is to win stuff. I think if we won it, anything would be like not West Ham, because as you said, it's the hope that kills us, and we know every year that we're going to have, and this year's obviously really different year, but we'll have those 3 or 4 times in the season where we turn up against Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United. We'll lose 3 or 4-0 to Burnley or someone like that. And we know it's going to happen, but you know, it's the hope that kills us. And it's like getting home on a Saturday, or, you know, very late for you guys if you're having to get all the way back, and then, you know, sitting down, flicking through the paper on a Sunday, then Monday morning, right, okay, here we got the weekend. All it goes again. And
you're right, mate.
It's something which I think, you know, which is inherently West Hamness about us. The fact that we're always. I mean, I think I'm quite different sometimes. I think I'm very much a half glass full type person, but most West Ham fans are the other way around, and that's what I quite like about it. But we'll see. And I think Europe, not only for the team and for the manager, but I think for the fans as well, it'd be great to just get a European tour.
I would love to have a little trip over the pond somewhere, and you know, over the water somewhere, and have a good day out. Because for me, a lot of it, do you know what I mean? I love the club, and I have done since I've been a 9-10-year-old kid. You know, and I mean, but it's not just, it's the 90 minutes are usually the bag of crap in it. I mean,
it's true. It's true.
It's the day out, you know, like I've got family up there, you know, my boys come with me. We can all go together. We've often all gone together, you know, and it's getting out there, getting in the pub. Like we should go in the old bowling and have a few beers before the game and now we tend to go over to Stratford or whatever. And, it's the build up and everything. And the whole day, and it is a whole day for me.
It's true. I mean, even more so for you. Yeah, even more so. But it's true. They say, win or lose, always on the booze type thing, and that's what it is. I think that's it's great that we can watch all these football games. You can watch in the country. You don't have to have a long ass journey into Waterloo for you guys. It's not. But it's not about that. I don't think now. It's about sort of, as you said, the experience. We West Ham, as long as we do enough to maintain a decent league position, we're not too scrapping for results at the end of the season. That's a good season for us, and a little bit of a cup run, a quarter final of a cup or whatever like that. That's sort of where we always are. But you're right, it's the lead up, it's the build up, and I think with Europe as well. That's why I've said it. If people can go back and check, I'm not necessarily it'd be amazing if we made the Champions League. It would have been phenomenal, just for me, just to play that tune in the London Stadium, that'd be my life complete. I'd probably retire after then. But
press that button, play that tune.
The champion. Oh, not for another year. Oh, Mike, you just make me sad. But yeah, so. But it's not that, because obviously we'd probably get knocked out of the qualifying stages because that's just us.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's not necessarily the destination. It's not like, I wouldn't, if we're drawn against bloody, I don't know, Juventus or whatever. It's not about a destination. It's about, as you said, the experience.
Yeah.
And particularly in the lower European competitions, you're going to be playing some really weird, obscure teams.
Yeah.
Which
hopefully not Astra Bleeding Gugu again.
Yeah, but even like Astra Gugu, even when we played Astra Gugu, although they're 13th,
I was there that night.
They're 13th, they're all right in the Romanian league. I don't think we're going to be playing this year, but you know what I mean? Even if it's like, and I've said it before, like a little Liechtenstein village where you have to get like, a boat and a tractor or to get there. And, West Ham fans just turn up and just take over the village for like 2 days. But that'll be the type of story that you'll be talking about 20, 30 years time.
And that's what it's all about, mate. Isn't it?
It is. It's so true.
Like I'm lucky, you know what I mean? I got a ticket for the 80 Cup final, through my dad because he's connections with the FA. But I mean, it was great. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I went to 81 League Cup final where Ray Stewart scored a penalty in the last minute. I've had some great times watching West Ham. I mean, the playoff final against Blackpool at Wembley, it was a great day out. I paid a lot of money for that ticket that day, but it was worth every penny.
Yeah.
And I went with my youngest lad, Dan, come with me to that one. And he said to me, Dad, I can't believe, he said, today, I just can't believe your attitude. I said, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win. I'm never like that. I'm a typical West Ham fan, pessimist. On the day, I said, no, this one's in the bag. We're going to win this. And thanks to Colton Cole and Vaz Tay, we did, didn't we? So it was a great day.
I mean, that one. I mean, we had Colton on the other day. We spoke about it. He was like, "Yeah, we should have wiped the floor of them. I think we put like six past or something ridiculous twice that season." Blackpool just turned up, but they knew they were. But Colton's like, "We just had to win. I didn't care how. It was a horrible day. It was a horrible game. I was on tenterhooks because my daughter was due that day as well. So I was like, literally, like, like fucking hell. Not only are we 90 minutes away from Wembley, my daughter could be due any minute now. So, yeah, I know. So it wasn't one. So it was a very stressful day in the Bunn household. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, or going to I remember like going to Cardiff 3 years in a row, and it was just like the experience of going over the bridge and just like literally anyone this side of the M25, it was all claret and blue ribbons. And you put your ribbons on your car, and as soon as you get out of the drive, they snap and start flapping for the rest of the 3-hour journey to Cardiff. But it's not necessarily a destination; it's a journey getting there, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. That is it, man.
The last away game me and Rich went to, I think, was when we could go, was Wolverhampton away. Yeah. And it's one of the grounds I haven't been to, actually. I've been to a lot of grounds to watch West Ham over the years. And that was, it was a shame we lost 2-0 that day, I think, when Snodgrass should have scored nearly it. When we started to get back into the game, it was a bit of a pain. But, I mean, even that, it's still, a great night out, you know what I mean? Yeah. And, you remember those experiences, don't you? Even if you have lost. I know you remember them better when you've won. God, I can't remember all the games. I'm
old timers. I remember going to like I remember going to Celtic in a pre-season. God, when was that ago? Years ago that was. Yeah, and we got the. Oh yeah, I can't remember the result. I can't remember the game. I'll be honest, I don't remember the game because it was like a pre-season, but it was just amazing. Just to be at Parkhead was just amazing. And yeah, you don't remember the game, but I remember,
Okay, yeah.
I remember get on the train up there. We're driving on the train up, and someone
Yeah.
says, "Right, what hotel we booked in?" And then everyone's like, "I thought you were booking the hotel." No, I thought you were booking the hotel. So we're scrabbling around on the, trying to get signal, trying to get like a holiday in or something in Glasgow. And just remember, it was so funny, such a funny. But it is or Liverpool, great away days, and
yeah,
hopefully
Man
we'll get back
United.
to them soon. Yeah, United or Newcastle, great. Even Burnley. Burnley's a great away day. I love Burnley.
Yeah, went to Brighton, the old Brighton ground in the late 70s. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
I've never been so scared in all my life. That was in the bad old 70s. And
yeah,
me and my mate, the only place we could get in was sort of in the corner on the Brighton end, but there was more West Ham in the Brighton end than there was Brighton. Oh my God. I think we won that day, but I'm glad football's not like that anymore. I really am, Russ. I really miss Upton Park. We had some great times there, and the atmosphere was fantastic. But I mean, things move on, don't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are in the London Stadium now, and we've got to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I prefer us to do something at Upton Park. Make that
of
bigger,
course.
maybe. But it is what it is, and I think now we just got to get on with it. Hopefully, they improve it make it more into a football stadium than an athletic stadium.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's totally different, isn't it? I mean,
I think it's also
the facilities and everything.
Yeah, I think it is about the facilities. I think it is about also the. It's what it symbolizes as well. You know what I mean? For me, I think it symbolizes a movement. It's not just West Ham related, but in football, in that it is. You look at all the clubs now in the Premier League, bar
in that way,
Burnley. I mean, Everton are going to get a new stadium. Liverpool have extended them. Man, look at everyone. You don't get these tight grounds anymore now. And ironically, the only teams who really had tight grounds this season, bar Burnley, have all gone down. So West Brom, Fulham, and Sheffield United. You know what I mean?
It is the way, like you're saying, that all the clubs are going to do it. Like your Arsenal have done it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're all going to do it, and for a while it's going to be, it's going to be tough, because it's the change, and it's a change that no one wants, or no one likes change, whatever you say.
No.
But I just think we got to get together now as a group of fans and get behind the club. Great, that's, hopefully we got owners that, or that are going to put some money into and give David Moyes a chance. If they don't, then it'd be sad. But
I know what you mean. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at what's going on with all the other clubs, all the greedy six. You know what I mean? Everyone's sometimes. Sometimes
all of a sudden,
better devil
the seventh worst owners in the league.
But better devil than devil you don't, innit? And sometimes it's always the way, and actually. I think it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, next year's going to be totally different again because obviously with fans hopefully back in the stadium, you're going to get a lot of, and also the whole effect of COVID and how some teams have reacted and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting next season. But I think we've got a good manager of a good head. I think we've got the right manager for West Ham. I really do. I think we need stability. We need someone who's building something, some infrastructure. Too often than not, in recent years, we've had guys who've come in and just done their own thing with no real plan. Pellegrini, even Slav, to be honest, you know what I mean? And Moyes is basically building from the ground up, and it seems, every one of his signings, to be honest, has been a hit. Really?
Well, that's what I say. We got to back him, I mean, because so far he hasn't made many mistakes.
No.
He knows what he can do, and I mean, in a way, I think it would have been too big a leap if we'd gone from, fifth from bottom to in the top four.
I agree totally.
I think you've got to take it off in little chunks, and I think he's the kind of man who's level-headed. He's got a good backroom staff behind him.
Definitely.
They're going to try and build something there. I would like to see some more youth coming through, to be totally honest.
Yeah. I think so.
Really like to see some more youth coming through, but that takes a little bit of time as well. So
it's difficult as well, isn't it? It's pressure, isn't it? Because it's great to bring in the kids, but it's like, results. It's like now. It's like the trouble is now we're still fighting for something. So these, if we were sort of
difficult to bring them in,
if we were like 12th or whatever, Connor Coventry would have probably got a run out. Meepu would have get some run outs, but you can't take that risk.
I know. I totally understand. That at the moment it is.
I know what you mean, though.
We're just there at the moment, aren't we?
European football might allow us to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because we have to do squad rotation.
Yeah, the Europa League could give us a chance to throw some of them young lads in, and it may be a good thing for that, But if we do get Europa League, we got to strengthen the squad. Full stop.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I think it was Harry Kane made his Tottenham debut playing in the Europa League and stuff, and it's. And I think actually, in some ways, I know that people go, we're going to sell this guy. I wouldn't sell anyone, to be honest. I think we need all the bodies we can get. And I'd rather keep a Lanzini than lose half of your money on him and then get someone in who's not as good on his days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the same as Anderson and people like that. If Anderson might go for £10 million, well, what can you buy for £10 million nowadays? You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. Those guys could be the guys that could play in the Europa League and do a good job.
Yeah, and it's a slower paced game, and Mark will be playing a lot more because it's more slower paced. And I think it's a great way. It's a great thing for us. I think getting to Europe. Yeah. So we'll see.
I've said all along, as long as we got something to fight for in that last game against Southampton, you know what I mean? I'll be very, very happy.
And it's like, I can't remember the last time we actually had something to play for, apart from maybe the Great Escape. Maybe it might be another year where, you know what I mean? Where there's like, where it goes to the last game and there's something still on the board. I remember last year, sort of went a bit of a whimper when we had like Villa and we'd already sort of stayed up. We had Man United, we got that point. That was the point we needed away. And, it's sort of like, it's exciting. At least it means, and obviously today, the club came out and said, we get 10,000 fans in for the last game, which is brilliant. And just caps off a nice season, a season where we haven't had to worry about West Ham. We just worried about, not losing our jobs or catching a virus. That's exactly. Rather than that and West Ham being ready, so that's the last thing we have to worry about. It's nice.
Well, nice. That's right. Yeah, I've left my name in the ballot and hoping I can get disabled access or something. Out there.
Oh, you did that once. I remember we did that in Disneyland once.
I don't know if I'll make it because it's only 3 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, we did that on what was that? We did that. Where did we get? I think it was Disney World, and my sister-in-law had just had a toe. Like she had a problem with her toe, so so the doctor signed her off. So we ended up getting disabled access. So basically, fast passing goes straight to the front. Oh dear, yeah,
brilliant.
This old hop along behind us. Oh yeah, yeah. She couldn't stand for more than 15 minutes.
I'll have to leave about 1 o'clock to get upstairs, I think.
Well, when they start doing the lap of appreciation at the end, you can start hobbling off. That's me done. Who's your hammer of the year, Mike?
Well, that's a tough one, mate. 4 or 5 who come up to it, really. But do you know what? At the moment, I think I'd go for Sufel.
That's my pick.
I tell you what, he's been so consistent.
Yeah.
And being a right back myself, I'm a little bit biased, but no.
Biased.
No, joking aside, Rice probably would have been if he hadn't got injured. That's just bad luck.
I think everyone's the same. Yeah.
Souček. Preswell's had a good season.
Yeah.
But for me, I'll go on Sufel.
Yeah, he's my pick. I don't think. I think
he's been solid.
He has, yeah, and I think that's probably. I mean, that's who I'd vote for, but it's almost like he won't win because he's solid and consistent. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like the Tim Breaker syndrome. He's like he's always there, but he's always there and always playing well, so he doesn't get noticed. You know, I mean, he keeps doing the same job. He's a good, and he's, as I said, I think it'll end up being Souček and Sufal 1 and 2, which is brilliant. Because it'd be well deserved. But what's great is, you said you listed 4 or 5 players this season.
Yeah.
Usually it's one, isn't it? usually like Declan Rice is going to win it, Pyatt's going to win it, Martin Over's going to win it.
Or whatever.
But it's like literally 5 or 6, which is the difference of this season. That it is like a team, it's proper team this season, it seems. That's a great thing. Yeah,
we are where we are, mate. I think
I totally agree.
Like I say, I could name 5 or 6, and we haven't been able to do that for years.
No. Now, 25 minutes in, first question. Well, actually, second question. I asked you how many. But why? But why West Ham, Mike? You said 1980 when you was, you must have been 5 or 6 then. But why West Ham?
Right, mate. Our local team, our local first division club here, Southampton.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved football. I was outside kicking the ball around all the time, and I played in youth teams and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really have a team, but I loved George Best and Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
They were my heroes. You can imagine when we won the World Cup in '66, I was a 5-year-old kid. My dad liked football, you know what I mean? My granddad went to watch every game and died after the semi-final. Hopefully someone's told him we won it up there. But I mean, joking aside, my dad took me to Southampton, and we watched Southampton Man United and George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, all them were playing. And he was magnificent, George Best. But on the day, he was terrible. We got kicked off the park by Southampton and they lost 1-0. Anyway, but I don't know. I think it was a few months later we went West Ham, and West Ham strode out in that claret and blue, those two white, had the 2 striped shirt. I mean, Bobby Moore. I was in awe of the bloke.
Yeah.
We won 2-1. I think Jeff Hurst scored, and Tommy Taylor, I think, scored. Tommy Taylor might have scored the other one.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I don't know. It was a few weeks later or whatever. I watched the 1970 World Cup. England against Pele, Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah.
That tackle Moore made on Pele, and the way. I know we lost, but that was it. West Ham were my team. Bobby Moore was my hero. Full stop.
Yeah.
And I just followed them ever since. I mean,
brilliant.
In those days, as a kid, I used to do a paper round, and the only reason I did a paper round is so I could get up early in the morning and read the football results, and read the full report on West Ham, because I read every paper, only the sports page of every paper going around, and just looking for West Ham all the time. I knew everything about West Ham as a kid, and then I was lucky. Of course, 75, Alan Taylor was my hero. 75, it was so sad that Bobby Moore had lost, because that was a bit, I mean, it was tough for us, really, you know what I mean? And when he left, it was like heart-wrenching, to us, but I don't know. I had a couple of mates who were West Ham fans as well, in the same football team I played in. So,
oh wow,
yeah, I mean, we went off, and whenever we weren't playing on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever, we went and watched West Ham whenever they're local. I can remember watching at Bristol City and Bristol Rovers and Southampton,
course,
and all the local clubs at Portsmouth. We went down to Brighton and watched them, let's say, and whenever we could, so I had a long football career. I played 40, I played in the well in my 40s, 49, but when I had the chance, I got up there as many times as I could every year, at least 3 or 4 times every year, and followed them on all the local games. And I've just been a fanatic all the time, mate. They're a club for me. I mean, all my mates Man United, Arsenal, whatever. No, that just didn't appeal to me. West Ham, I mean, the bubbles and everything. I mean, it's just different atmosphere, different goo. They were my club, and they're boom in there, full stop.
Yeah. And then you blink, and it's been
60. We had some rough times.
60 years.
I mean,
50 years.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the early 70s, and that we're trying to sign every striker under the sun. No different than that.
No different now. But so it's changed 50 years on.
Nothing's changed, mate. I remember looking in the paper, who we're going to get. I was going for Derek Hales and, I mean, smash and grab, who were 2 strikers at Bristol Rovers, and I mean, a lot of the old guys, they remember this. And I mean, we signed John Radford from Arsenal, and he couldn't even kick a ball, let alone put it in the back of the net for us. And Jimmy Greaves, poor old Jimmy, couldn't do it for us either, And so I've gone through all that heartache, but I've had good times as well. So, it's been a rocky old road, but we've stuck by it. I mean, players can come and go, mate, but we can't.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. Players come, the fans stay in it. And that's what makes the club, isn't it? That's what makes the club West Ham, makes it West Ham. And I think that's why a lot of people, on the show, we get loads of, we don't just get, obviously, West Ham, fans watch the show, but watch the channels. But we get lots, and I get lots of messages from Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool fans all over the country, across the world, really. And it's because we're such a unique bunch. We really are. The fact is, since 1980, we haven't won anything. I mean, yesterday was 41 years since we last won a effort, in total and whatnot, a couple of bet ways, but it's the last. So, but despite the fact we still have this incredibly dedicated, passionate fan base, a lot of other clubs wouldn't be winning of one, and obviously their fan base maybe decide to support another club, which happens, sort of the sort of football tourists of people. So, but we still turn up. We still turn up. Still trying to buy a striker. Nothing changes at all. Brilliant. 50 years on, it's always the same. Even this summer, innit? This summer, we're gonna because we know, because Moyes said we want a striker. We're gonna get every striker in the ever available striker. That's what I like. I find it interesting. That's what I like, though.
Yeah.
I like
being fun of it, mate.
It is all part of fun.
Yeah.
And you sort of like, you sort of just, exactly. That's the first thing I do every morning is open up the transfer page on the BBC website. Literally, so like my eyes open. That's the first thing I look at. And just laugh. Oh God. Oh dear, but it's all good. It'll be silly season soon. I look forward to it, particularly if we are in Europe, because they know we've got a bit of money to spend. Because
I think then it might sort of attract a few more different sort of players to us. Really.
Well, and you're right. I think not jump before you can walk type thing. So even if we're in the Europe Conference, whatever, it is like the step up. So you do have a step up in caliber, because and even the conference, people like the conference, but you're still going to have teams like, I think Villarreal are potentially in it at the moment, and they're through to the Europa. If they don't win the Europa League, they'll be obviously in the Champions League if they win that. I hope they win it now. I don't want Man United to win it after that. After that shit show today.
I think Manchester's let us down over the weekend.
They've really just buggered us all up, innit?
Yeah.
And I thought Man City fans liked us.
No one wants us in there, mate.
No one wants us in there.
Just loved us to get in there, just to poke the fingers up to everyone in the world, other than West Ham fans, because no one wanted us in there.
Oh, I love it. I do love it. But I think a conference. I think Roma or someone's going to be in it as well, and so and even if in the Europa League, obviously, PSG having a right shit show in League On, so they could be in the Europa League next year. Could you imagine? I wouldn't mind my little trip to Gay Paris.
Yeah, that'd
nice.
Be what?
Get the old Eurostar, very nice indeed.
Yeah.
And we just got to hope it's in a green zone. It'll be all right. Porto. That's what we want. Porto.
That's green, isn't it? I mean, Portugal's all right.
Or Boa Vista or someone like that.
Yeah,
Porto. We'll take them.
That's true.
Yeah, because otherwise it's other than the green it's the Falkland Islands, isn't it? I think.
Oh yeah.
Or
New Zealand or something.
Australia, but they won't let you in. So you get there, you stay at the door, but they won't let you in.
No, that's right.
It's like a delivery driver, isn't it? Where they don't let you in the house and just put the package down and put your suitcase, and that's it. But I'm going to be going to a friend's wedding next year. This year's not going to happen, is it?
I got two. I got my daughter and my oldest son.
Yeah.
So I got a busy year, and so that's why I needed a new knee for the dad dancing.
So that dancing, isn't it? Oh, I love. See, I miss things like that, isn't it? That's what I miss. It's like it's a big birthday for me this year, and so my wife decided she wants to throw me a party, which I actually really wanted, but I just sort of secretly didn't say anything.
Secretly,
what I mean? Like, but okay, and it's just all that, like having a dance, having a boogie. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait, mate. Right, okay, let's do your Hammers 11 then, Mike. So
Right.
obviously everyone we get on that. This is hard for you, man.
Mate,
Because
it's
you've
tough.
been around for a long time, man. No
I mean,
disrespect,
I've
but
seen so many good players. I started writing a list today, and I filled out about 3 bits of paper. So
I
I
can
just had to
imagine.
go for it. I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many
I can
players, but I
imagine.
think I've had to do it on the players I really, really enjoyed watching.
Yes, that's the way to do it, I think.
I mean, there's a lot of players I could put in that have been terrific servants to the club. Do you know what I mean? But I'm putting some in that, have really got us off our seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's something about they've either been a great servant or they've got us off our seats. And I think you'll find the team I picked is probably going to be similar to a lot of 60-year-olds, but it's the team that.
But that's what it is, though, Mike. Because something funny, and that's why we sort of put the caveat in is you have to be alive to have seen them play, because if we didn't, then everyone would put Bobby Moore in, Billy Bonds, Trevor Brooke in. But unfortunately, no one. I didn't see any of them play, so they weren't in my team. I didn't have Bobby Moore. I had Gary Breen.
Yeah,
what I mean. That's how I had to suffer through Gary Breen and and Roger Johnson and things like that. You know what I mean? Although we all laughed, Roger Johnson could have been a Craig Dawson. Do you know what I mean?
True.
With a bit of confidence. Do you know what I mean? When Craig Dawson turned up, we all thought it was Roger Mark II, but it weren't.
Yeah, we did.
Craig. So yeah. Right. Let's start in goal then. Who's going to be in goal then, Mike?
Well, the first keeper I saw was probably Bobby Ferguson. He's a great.
Had him on the channel. Top boy. I love Bobby.
Yeah. It's difficult because I've got like Ludo, Rob Green, Shaq, and there's so many great keepers. But there's one bloke who stands out, and that's Phil Parkes. I mean, he was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the old sheepdog. He just, it was, had to be a good goal to go in against Phil Parkes. I remember when we signed him from QPR, and I thought, he looked good for QPR, and I thought this is a terrific signing. And he was just so consistently good. I got to go with old sheepdog.
Yeah. And I love the fact, I think, there was, as you said, with even Bobby Ferguson, and Mervyn Day and Parksy and Ludo. I mean, these guys were around for, almost for a long time,
He was there for ages,
and it's just like that's what I'd like to see with our next keeper. Do you know what I mean? I'd like us to go and get someone like Sam Johnston, who could easily be our goalkeeper for the next 7 or 8 years. Do you know what I mean? Just to have that consistency, because I think we've shown in the last year when Fab was out and Roberto came in and Pellegrini left, and the effect a good goalkeeper has on the team. And I think if you get someone who's really good, it's like, that's the one thing. The Fabianski is fantastic, but he was in my team. I picked him in my team, but I just wish we had him about 2-3 years earlier. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to get that solidity, he would have been in the same. I have no doubt if we had him for 2-3 years, when he left Juventus, when he came to Swansea, if we had him then, he would be in the same realm as when people talk of Ludo and stuff like that, just because of longevity. Because there's no denying he's one of them. He's the best. I think technically he's the best goalkeeper I've seen at West Ham. But we'll put Parks in. Good old Phil.
Yeah.
Good old Phil. He'll be on. We'll have him soon. He's coming on soon.
Oh, good.
Well, in a couple of when everything gets sorted, when all we're going to do a proper one. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. So we'll put Phil in. Big Parks in. Right, okay, put the big man in. Defense. Who's your first defender?
Left back.
Yeah.
That's a difficult one because Frank Lampard.
Yeah,
senior. I was there when he scored a screamer against Liverpool. In the top corner, it was absolutely peaching. And then he did this, he got us to Wembley, against Everton. I mean, but Julian Dix is just another one of my heroes, I'm afraid. And I couldn't leave him out. No. I mean, that penalty when he nearly snapped Schmeichel's wrist off. I'll never forget that, Yeah, I mean, Julian Dix.
Yeah.
He gets it for me.
Definitely. Yeah, defo.
Hero,
Yeah, me too. He was one of
Yeah,
my. He scored the first ever goal I saw at Upton Park, and
yeah,
that was it. It was almost like love at first sight. And
yeah.
actually, I told him that when we interviewed him. I went, "Oh, you scored the first ever goal I saw." And I told him it was Oxford United, 1990. He went, "I scored two that day, Russ." I went, "Yeah, I know you scored two that day, but I'm saying, you scored the first one. Yeah, you scored the second one." But yeah, no, I thought he was a phenomenal player and
Yeah.
great servant to the club.
I mean, also he was good on the ball. He didn't just
Yeah,
kick
yeah, he
people.
was.
Yeah, it was great that he used to sort people like Roy Keane out and whatever. And that was all part of it. We all loved that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean, he was a gifted footballer as
he
well.
was.
Yeah,
He was, and that's what I think. That's what I mean. There's certain players. You mentioned it. People get off. You get off your seat and put a shift in. And
yeah,
very, very, very often you'll get the Venn diagram in the middle.
yeah, yeah,
And Julian was one of those. Julian had a
yeah,
wand of a left foot, terribly
yeah.
could get you off your chair, not for the wrong reasons, but for the
No,
right reasons.
yeah, yeah.
But then he could still get you off for the wrong reason, because he still had that commitment. And
I
actually,
don't know how
that's
many
probably a
times he
third.
got
That's
sent
that's a
off
third
the field.
circle, being a nutter as well. And
Yeah,
he was like the trifecta. He was like bang in the middle, wasn't he? So
yeah.
yeah, there's certain people who have just got all three components, and he had all three. But yeah, I love Jules. Right, okay, Jules is in. Parksy, Julian, who's next?
Oh, we had a fullback. It's got to be Ray Stewart. So I
I'll
don't know
put
who'd take the
Thompson.
penalties.
Oh, it's going to kick off. It's
I
going to
think they
kick
have to
right
take it
off.
turns who take the penalties because Ray Stewart, what a player. I mean,
Yeah.
and he was exactly the same with the penalty. Well, he would have shown Aguero how to put that one away, on Saturday.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, don't want to go back there.
But then we had it. But then it's sort of six of one, half a dozen another. Obviously, Lookman with his Panenka fail at Fulham when they could have got a draw, rather than at Upton Park, London Stadium earlier this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't. But Tonka, Tonk's top man.
Yeah, great. I mean, John Moncur was probably John McDowell was probably
John McDowell,
fantastic. Right back.
See, that's why I love doing this show, because like Bobby Ferguson picked John McDowell, and I didn't know who he was. So I've now gone back and looked back, and he had incredible hair.
Incredible hair. I remember
he
scored 2 goals in one game once, and he didn't score many. And also Steve Walford. I saw him score a screamer against Bristol City. I mean, it was from we drew 2. I think he got the equaliser. It was a 2-legged League Cup game in those days, or whatever. And then when I went Upton Park, one of the first few games at Upton Park, I saw him score one as well. I saw him score both of his goals he probably ever scored for West Ham.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable, really. But no, Ray Stewart gets a nod, mate.
Yeah, I love Tonka. I love Tonka. He's a lovely bloke as well. They're all lovely blokes.
Yeah.
But he is a lovely guy. Remember when we saw, I don't know how he just randomly phones me sometimes, and he phoned me to say, all right, I think what was the game? It was like one of the 3-2s we had in a few weeks ago. We had like lots of 3-2s, didn't we? Yeah, he went, hey, you recovered it, Russ? And I was like, oh no, I still haven't recovered. And he was like, do you know what? He says, this team we got this season is special, but now's a special time. And because he always references back to the 85-86 squad.
Yeah.
Everything. He's like, oh, back in 85-86, here we go. Back in 85-86, John Law, there was a period where I had to play, I played right back, I played centre back, I played left back. I think I played midfield as well. And it weren't my positions, but John made me think that I was the best player in those positions, so I could go and play like that. Yeah. And that's what Moyes is trying to do now. You can tell because he's got these he's trying to gear them up to. They might not be a centre defence or like Lanzini the other day.
That's the I manage teams, and I coach youth teams and men's teams as well. And that was I remember playing myself. Well, from playing myself, we used to have a coach who used to come over to me before the game. He used to say, "You play well today. We win this game. It's all down to you." But he said that to everyone else, but I thought it was just me. You know what I mean? But I mean, little things like that you don't forget.
No,
Don't.
Right, okay, but put Tonks in at the other fullback. Centre half. So who's your first
centre half? Well, you know who one of them's going to be.
Roger Johnson. We've already spoken about him already. Yeah, no problems.
Yes, the great Bobby Moore. I mean, what a player. Rolls Royce of a player. I mean, and a gentleman, top guy. And, well, we all know, West Ham won the World Cup with him. Yeah, I saw him play that day at Southampton. And you know, it was the only time I saw him playing in the flesh. I was going to another game and it got called off. And there was another game that I couldn't get to. Remember when he had to go against Stoke City in the league?
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Yeah,
saved the penalty. Yeah, I was meant to be going to that one, and we didn't make it in the end. But never mind.
Brilliant.
You know, I got to see him in the flesh in a West Ham shirt. So
brilliant,
great,
amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Unfortunately, less people who did that. So, you know, that's why I like doing these shows with more experienced fans, because, you know, we read all the stories, we see the YouTubes, but, you know, you saw him firsthand. And obviously we've interviewed people like Stag and Bobby Ferguson and people like that who played with him as well. So it sort of keeps those sort of memories categorized. So, yeah, no, it's a top man. Right. Okay. We'll put Moro in. Who's going to partner them?
Yeah. He got no hair, but we don't care.
Me.
Alvin Martin. Yeah.
No, I thought he was going to put me in. Yeah. I could offer something different in the final third, that's for sure. But yeah, big Alf.
Yeah, I mean, another great player. And he was good on the ball as well. And I mean, I know he played a few times for England, but he was another proper captain and a proper leader, you know. Yeah. And I mean, that's probably the team I picked here. We've probably got about 6 captains in it. But I mean, you know, he for me, he never put a foot wrong. He was just solid. He was absolutely brilliant. Never panicked on the ball. You know, classic defender, classic centre. Yeah,
so true. And you know, and again, like someone from around these parts who he wasn't from around here when.
No, he's a Scouse, wasn't he?
No, he came down at 16, whoever he was, and
yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it's funny because with Bobby Ferguson, he reckoned that he played in Alvin Martin's first game for the reserves when he played reserves, and he was like, I think Greenwood said, "Oh, you know, keep an eye on him. He's new. He's a newbie." And literally after about 2 minutes, Bobby's like, "Nah, didn't need to. He just knew he knew he was going to be a good player." Yeah. But yeah, brilliant. Right, okay, so Alvin Martin's in. It's going to midfield.
Right, midfield. I'm going to have 4 midfield.
Nice.
And I've got to have Trevor Brooking in there because
you've got to have him. You saw him.
I mean, he used to just on the pitches that he used to play in the position he used to play in. There was no grass. It was all mud. And the guy used to he had no pace at all, but he used to just glide past people.
That's what they say. Yeah.
And I mean, he was just a magician. I just loved him to death. I remember that goal he scored for England against Italy when he stuck up in the stanchion, you know. And I mean, in the cup final, we didn't even know he scored. We thought it was Stuart Pearce.
Yeah.
What to start with. You know, I mean, that was great for him to crown that off because, what a servant to the club as well. And what a great player. Yeah, I remember Brian Clough said he float like a butterfly and he stung like one. But I mean, he was, he was different class on the ball, and I'd like to see him on some of these billiard table pitches that they play on now.
I totally agree. And again, that's something I don't think I really appreciated when I started doing these things. Is obviously people talk about the grace of Trevor Brooking, and I won't mention some others because you might pick them. But as you said, these guys were just doing it. On these, I remember we interviewed Macca, and he was like, he was talking about the pitches, and he was like, go back and see. And he told me the 4-0 win against Chelsea, at Stamford Bridge, and it was like, he said it was like a sandpit, and it was, I went back and watched it, and it was, and just crazy to think, as you said, the bowling greens, billiard pitch, whatever you call them, now would be amazing. But vice versa, I'd love to see Messi have a go on that Stamford Bridge pitch and see what he could do. You know what I mean? Turn an ankle, probably. But yeah. All right. So Trevor's in.
Yeah, alongside him, you need a warrior.
You do.
And the warrior of all warriors is Billy Bonds.
Billy Bonds, yeah, Billy Bonds.
Close.
That one game, Jonathan Spector's one game, that Man United game.
Man United,
he scored that brace.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we've had some great guys in the middle of the park. I mean, Parker. I mean, Bishop and Moncur together, they were great. I mean, those two used to just spin around and, take the ball. And I mean, no one else would put Ian Bishop and John Munker in the middle of the midfield, would they? I mean, they want someone that would be, a bit more solid than that. But those two were great.
It worked, yeah.
I mean, they both tackle, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they were great to watch. I mean, Declan Rice, he's coming on and knows, I could put him in there, but Brook and Bonds make it for me in the middle.
Yeah, good pair.
Because of the amount of years they put in, and and they're just two class guys.
Class. Yeah, no, totally agree. Right, okay, well, they're in the middle. Who's next?
Well, I got Alan Devonshire.
That's why. That's why I didn't mention Devonshire, because I knew you'd probably pick him.
He was a left winger to start with. I know he sort of played in other positions. I know he used to wear a number 6 shirt most of the time, but but I mean, the guy. I mean, he just go by people for fun down that flank and put balls into the box. It was a shame he never did it for England, which was a shame. He had a few chances for England, but he never had a really good game for England.
Good run,
But I mean, there was a spell where he was one of the top players in the country, and everyone wanted him, But I could have put other people in. I could have put Liam Brady. I saw Liam Brady play for us, but he was an Arsenal man, really. I remember Liam Brady scoring it up to Park. We beat Arsenal 3-1, I think, back in the 80s. And then went to an FA Cup replay at Highbury, and we actually won. Leroy Rossini scored. We won 1-0. I mean, there's so many West Ham fans there that night. It was great. And some of the Arsenal fans started singing Arsenal reject, and I'll never forget it. I mean, proper Arsenal fans just all got up in unison and started singing "There's only one Liam Brady."
Yeah,
and he's playing for West Ham, and that's. I mean, that brings your faith back into football and makes
It's certain times, isn't it? Yeah,
and there's time. That things like that don't happen very often, but that's when true fans, are there to be seen.
Definitely.
So definitely. I could have put because he had a left foot. I mean,
there's loads. Yeah, there's loads.
Oh,
that's the thing.
I mean, Pat Holland. I used to love Pat Holland.
Patsy, I like Patsy.
He's a worker. He really was. He was an absolute grafter, and I mean,
that's good, man. It's great.
But it could have been so many.
Yeah, but I always think go with your gut. And left wing, I thought you could put Devonshire in just because the way the team was, you get a feeling. But that's why I didn't mention Dev when I was talking about him playing. Right, we'll put Dev on the left. Then who's going to go on the right? Then
no, might be shocked by this one, but may not from the rest of my team. But I'm going to go for Dimitri Payet.
Oh, nice.
It might be a bit of a shock to a lot of people, but I'll tell you what, he wasn't there very long, and he didn't show. That he didn't leave in the right manner, but what he did while he was there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that last season at Bowling, I mean, he was great. I mean, absolutely fantastic. We went to Bournemouth away, and he scored a free kick. Was it last year at Bowling or the year before? I can't remember. Anyway,
it would have been that year. Yeah.
And I didn't know. I got home from work and I had a message from my mate who bought me a season ticket over there. He said, "Do you want my tickets?" So I rung Tom quickly. Of course, it's less than an hour down the road. Less than an hour down the road. I said, "Tom, let's go." He said, "Oh," I said, "We've got to sit in a Bournemouth end." Something I didn't really want to do. Anyway, we get in there. Wore me out, my West Ham out on the way, and I thought, better put in my pocket now as I'm sat behind the goal, right behind the goal. And first half, they were all over us, and the wind was blowing one way, and they were all over us, and we're 1-0 down. And then the wind turned, and all of a sudden, Andy Carroll came on, and we looked a different team. And then Payet, he just got on the ball, Payet, and he just did everything. And then he got that free kick, and we're right behind it, and he bends it into the top corner, and I'm up at this. Tom's like this, holding me down because I'm up like this. I just wanted to be over there with the West Ham fans so badly, but at least I was there to witness it.
Exactly, and you're right. I mean, he was just an exceptional player, and we probably never see the likes of him in terms of the impact. And it doesn't happen very often in West Ham in modern history, where everything just works. It was the right player at the right time with the right manager and the right. It just all the stars aligned, and because of that, he'll always be. It will have a place in West Ham history, in West Ham hearts. Obviously, the way he left, but again, it's a modern day now. The players are like that,
I mean, yeah, I could have put, Sinclair, Matty Everton in there or whatever.
Yeah.
What he did in a small amount of time, really lifted West Ham fans.
Yeah.
We had another hero to get behind.
Yeah. Totally.
You know what I mean? And it was great. It didn't last too long, but it was great. So he goes in, he slots in there.
Yeah, exactly. Right, okay, we'll put Dimmy in. Okay. Up front now with strikers. Who's your first forward?
I expect you can guess one of them.
I can guess one of them, but it's like which one? Is it which one? Because is it Ilian or is it David Di Michele or Franco or Nene or Savio? There's just so many of them, Mike. I just don't know what way you're going to go. They go, which one is it? Which one is it?
Well, Paulo Di Canio, mate. I mean, phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a few games where he was just different class. That Bradford game.
Yeah.
Forgotten with it. No. I mean, but that goal against Wimbledon. Went to the away game actually because I think they played that at Selhurst Park that season as well. But I mean, again, cult hero and always will be. And he's a West Ham fan, and he always will be for the rest of his life now.
Yeah, I think
he was a maverick. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, he was the only guy I saw put those Panenkas away.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I mean, I put a little note on Twitter. I said, "Who does Aguero think he is? Di Canio or something?"
Yeah.
I mean, it was the only bloke I know walk up there, and you got to have exceptional amount of guts, skill, and skill to do that.
Yeah.
And he had it. He had it all. He absolutely had it all.
But what with him as well? I mean, that Bradford game. I mean, he represented that era as well, in my opinion, in terms of that Redknapp era. It was crazy. It was maverick, but it was really entertaining, and it was a time that we were all. It was probably the most exciting. Maybe different now, but it's probably one of the most exciting times I can remember being a West Ham fan because you had like this. You had him. You had, as you said, you had these crazy foreign imports. You had Marco Buga's stories. You had, but then you still had your Moncurs. You still had like Razors, Ian Wrights. You had some great, and then you had like Joe and you had Rio, and it was such an exciting time to be a West Ham fan, and Di Canio just epitomised that because because Harry did that quite often. He'd go and pick up someone who you didn't fancy, and it turned out to be brilliant. And I just think he's just entertaining. And although Pyatt was probably maybe technically more skillful than Di Canio just had it all.
Yeah,
he had it all.
Yeah, he just it was just something different. I know he was always on the tightrope. He was just about to go over the edge every time,
Yeah, and that's what we liked. That's what we liked.
Skilled players over, Joko, what a great little player he was. Frank Lampard. I mean, we had some top quality players over the years. I mean, Michael Carrick was was all in that team. If we'd have kept that together with Defoe and Johnson and whatever, I mean, Rio Ferdinand. I mean, the players that I've seen playing for this club over the years is, well, phenomenal. They
all come at the wrong time, don't they?
Yeah,
they all seem to come at the wrong time. It's the way West Ham. Timing is absolutely crap with us. Typical, Like, look at Phil Parkes. Phil Parkes was 2 years either side. He would be in England regular. Do you know what I mean? Same as Alvin Martin. Same as Billy Bonds. For fuck's sake, never played for England. You know what I mean? Jimmy Dix.
Yeah, I know. No. Yeah,
timing's crap. West Ham plays.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, strikers is so difficult, mate. Because Alan Taylor was a hero for me, scoring those goals against Fulham. I mean, Pop Robson used to be one of my favourites.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he played in the first game I saw, and I think he went away and then come back again.
Yeah.
Early 70s and then come back in the later 70s, I think. But he was always a favourite of mine. Jeff Hurst, of course, Tony Coy, Psycho, you know, Dean Ashton, what player he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, you know, if Ian got injured again playing for England, that was, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah.
I think he could have been on to be an England regular for many years.
Oh, without doubt, without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah,
Dino.
such a shame. But murder striker is another jock.
He's gone for
and
him.
it's Frankie Mack.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, I mean, another just hero of mine. He scored goals for fun. He never stopped running, and in all the games I saw him play, you know, I mean, he just kept chasing after everything. He never gave up on anything, and most of the time he was there in the right place in the right time. And that year when we nearly won it, well, him and Tony Cottee, and of course Paul Goddard, I forgot him. You know, I mean, what 3 strikers to have, you know. Unbelievable.
Fantastic player.
Yeah, that's my team, mate.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I love the fact that, you know, and I think someone like McAvenny, again, very similar to Alvin Martin, you know, sort of still wasn't from around these parts. Same as Di Canio, really.
Yeah.
You know, then they became these West Ham, like, you know, I mean, Bond never left Charlton. You know, he never left South London, but he became a West Ham legend. You know what I mean? It's just, and especially, I mean, you know, as you said, you know, when you're doing me on Jake's channel, you know, you talk to West Ham fans all over the world. You know, Peach and God knows who. You know, Wally and all these all over the world. And like this funny little club in East London has, like, you know, we've interviewed guys from Bangalore to Brisbane.
Yeah,
I probably have actually. You know, like all over the world, and it's like it's just weird, and you know, it's just strange how, you know, our funny little club has all these, and you mentioned obviously we've got these 11 plus about another 50 people you mentioned who are absolute
I could
legends.
mention so many more, mate. I mean,
yeah,
Colton Cole is another guy I've always liked. You know, and he always give it everything as well. You know, I mean,
he did.
I could name you 15 teams. You know, I can still remember the 1975 Cup team. You know, and you know, those things don't stick in your head. You know, but
no, definitely.
I mean, when you've been watching for so many years, the sort of things in between sometimes sort of, you know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's too much. In there, mate.
No, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Right? Yeah, but I mean, it's a good. You know, it's in their pomp. They would all do it. They would do a job.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about Europa Conference with that 11. I tell you, we'll be straight in the top 4. Straight in the top 4. Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm glad we finally. I'm glad your operation. I'm glad your operation was successful, and we could chat and stuff. And no, it's been really good. It's been really good, man. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I really appreciate.
I'll go and take some more painkillers.
And obviously, thank you to everyone watching.
Thank you very much for having me on, mate.
Absolute pleasure, my friend. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Don't forget to he's doing it already. Get those jabs. Myself and Mike, take care. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care.